Shalom. Welcome back to another episode of the Freight Train of Prophecy, episode 24. Before I get started, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of that great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the sincere Akim, the brothers out there pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the four corners of the earth. Also to the few sincere Aqua, the sisters listening as well. To you I say shalom. So we back in the news with a couple topics that I want to touch on real quick pertaining to last days prophecy, because no one should have to tell anyone that's paying attention to world news and world events that we are in the last days. And according to what the scriptures say, in these times there would be signs. A sign is what? Something to let you know that where something is or what's happening. So there are signs in the earth, earthquakes, distress of nations, countries rising up against, nation rising up against nation, strange signs that are in the heavens, strange activity with the people on the earth. So with these signs that we're seeing in the earth, we can gauge how close we are to the end, because our Lord Yahushua, whom the world called Christ, he told us the things to look out for before he would make his second coming. So this lesson, as always, is to go into prophecy and demonstrate that the words of the Heavenly Father are faithful and true. So I want to start off with this video here because there's been multiple earthquakes going off since this year started. So since yesterday into today, you've been seeing earthquakes all over the place. So you had one in New York, and they saying that this is the strongest one in more than 22 years. So I'll go ahead and play this real quick and we'll get back into it.
So while the New York City area awaits the snow, they saw its strongest earthquake in over 22 years this morning. The magnitude 1.7 quake near Astoria, Queens, is the 8th earthquake within New York City limits since 1970. Did you feel the shake? No injuries or damage was reported, but firefighters did check out a report of a building shaking on Roosevelt Island. And the most recent before today was a magnitude 0.9 quake centered in Long Island City on June 25th, 2019.
So that one was in New York. Then we'll go here again. 5 earthquakes within 9 hours throughout California coastline. You know, California, they're pretty known for getting earthquakes, but not like this. It's like 5 earthquakes within 9 hours throughout Southern California. They also have wave warnings, like high tsunami warnings and stuff out there as well. So in these times, we've seen a lot of things happen. You know, the Most High is turning up the judgment. The things that the prophets have been speaking of, this is now the appointed time for these things to come forth. A 3.0 magnitude in Boonville, California, 2.5 in Idlewood, 2.8 in Baywood, a 2.9 in Geyser, 4.1 in Rancho Palos Verde. And this all happened within a frame of 9 hours. This one happened yesterday in Japan. You know, they had to evacuate a lot of people. Let me play this real quick. If I can skip this ad. There we go.
In Japan, and a tsunami news, a powerful 7.5 magnitude earthquake has hit western Japan, and a tsunami warning has been issued. It struck at about 4 p.m. local time. A series of strong aftershocks have already been recorded, and tsunami waves of 1.2 meters have hit a number of areas along the western coast. Japan's Prime Minister is urging residents in tsunami areas to evacuate as soon as possible. The US Geological Survey and the Japan Meteorological Office as well have been making similar warnings.
Earthquakes all over the place. You having them happen in Russia and China. I just uploaded a video yesterday. They said, matter of fact, You know what? It is on my page. I just uploaded it yesterday. But the guy on TikTok, he was going into it about how many earthquakes that happened around the earth on January 1st, 2024. So we really started off the year with a bang. The year definitely starting off with a bang. This is another one. This is near me, DMV area. Small earthquake in Rockville felt miles away. A small earthquake in Rockville, Maryland shook communities and was felt as far away as West Virginia overnight Tuesday. The earthquake happened at about 12:50 a.m. and had a magnitude of 2.3. Okay? So yeah, all over the earth, you having crazy earthquakes. Remember late last year, the Philippines, Iceland, Russia, China, they was having all kind of earthquakes happen in those lands. This is Matthew 24 in verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. This is Salakia. So this is Yahushua speaking. Telling the disciples of the things they will see in the last days. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And I also get this as well, 2 Ezra chapter 9, in verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So 2 Ezra 9 is echoing what Yahushua said in Matthew 24, that there will be earthquakes in the last days in diverse places. Diverse goes into many. So you're going to be seeing earthquakes all over the earth happen simultaneously. That's a sign of the end. All right, that's a sign to let you know that the end is very near. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest through the works, through the prophecies. Okay, that's how the end is manifest, through these signs that the Lord is showing within the earth. You had this go on in New York today as well. Multiple explosions. They're calling it a T attack or terror attack, right? And they warned of this last year. Okay, the FBI and the DHS, they warned of a heightened terror threat going past the holiday season. And we already know that these elites, the powers that be, they got all kind of stuff ready to go this year. You know what I'm saying? Because they know and they see, just like we see, that the Lord is turning up the judgment in the earth. So they got to come with more draconian measures, more unrighteous decrees, more death, and just more BS overall. All right, so and then again, they bringing over all these migrants over the border, actually flying them in on planes now. Okay, so we'll get into that. But this is why these things are going on, because they want to take more control, more power, so that they can set up the NWO. Let's get this.
After 7 up above, we'll check in now once again with John Del Giorno. John.
Heather, good morning again, and this is the view from high above Roosevelt Island. You see all that fire department activity down there. To recap, this all began around 6 o'clock this morning. Fire department got multiple calls about explosions on Roosevelt Island. They also got those calls from the Upper East Side and from Astoria, Queens. Fire department arrived out here, and it sounds like they found some localized power outages. Now, the streets on Roosevelt Island, they are open, but you can see this large fire department response while they're trying to find the source of those small explosions. Meanwhile, as we said, streets are open, but you can see fire department and police are directing traffic down there. Some city buses involved. There's going to be some detours, also school buses involved as well. So if you live on Roosevelt Island, that's what all this activity is this morning, and you might expect some transit delays this morning as well. And we're live over Roosevelt Island. John Del Giorno, Channel 7.
Hey, so like we've been saying, in 2024, stuff about to get real. The shit is about to hit the fan in 2024. In the year, listen, we only in the second day of January 2024, and you have a whole lot going on around the earth. So you already know, if we 2 days in and it's like this, imagine what the rest of the year has in store. 2024 is about to be a wild ride, man. It's about to be a whole lot of chaos going on. It's going to be a lot of death, a lot of destruction, a lot of confusion, a lot more wickedness being perpetuated. You know, so that's even more a call for us that's in this truth, that are faithful unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to buckle down even more, understanding what time it is, understanding that these days are evil. Let's move on. This is another thing that's about to hit hard this year, okay? Job losses. Salakia. These damn ads, man. Salakia about this. Yeah, so job loss, understanding the emotional impact and coping strategies in a recession. And we are in the midst of a recession. Things are very, very bad. All right. You have a lot of motor vehicles being shut down because the traffic isn't as high, and also the overhead to run a lot of these businesses are very high as well. So, you know, many business owners, you know, they're having a very hard time keeping their business running. Trucking is down. You know, people are ordering less. You know, which, you know, this is a very bad sign that things are about to get even worse. Things are already bad, but things about to get even worse, because this is like a domino effect. If the trucks stop running, if planes stop shipping cargo, if ships stop coming in on a regular basis, everybody's going to lose, from the businesses down to the employees, down to the consumer. Benefits are going to have to get cut off. Cost of living is going to increase. Wages are going to stay stagnant, you know. So we're in a perfect storm for chaos. And this is all being brought on by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. In the modern, bustling world of work, job loss can strike like a lightning bolt out of a clear sky, particularly during an economic downturn, which we're in the midst of. The profound consequences are not just monetary, they infiltrate the very psyche of the individual. In a recession, when typically job loss becomes widespread, the collective emotional toll can reshape society's mental landscape. And the scriptures speak about that. All right, that matter of fact, let me bring it up. Let me go to 2nd Ezra 15 or 16, Salakia. Because look, these are the times that we're in the midst of, and you already seeing it. You're already seeing people lose their minds. People are on drugs now, heavier more than ever. You know, the murder rate is at an all-time high and set to get even worse. You know, people losing their jobs, you know, putting their own children to death. Why is that? Because this is a time of great tribulation. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then evils shall grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that all encompasses what? Great death. and great tribulation is going to happen upon the earth. Second Ezra 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn. We know America, otherwise known as Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. This place is in a state of mourning. The mirth of the land is gone. Christmas, they just passed, didn't even feel like a Christmas, man. Which that's good for us, because, we don't deal with no damn Christmas anyway. But the fact that these people are in a state of mourning and they're afraid and uncertain of what the future holds, that's good news for us, because that's a sign to let us know that this world is on the way out and these people about to be destroyed with it. Let me see here. Second Ezra 15 and verse 18. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. In job loss, okay? Job loss, people getting laid off, people losing their houses, not being able to afford their car payments, the streets being infested with crime. That's a part of the cities being troubled. Okay, you gonna have bomb threats, terror threats going off in these cities, hardcore. Yeah, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So because of great tribulation, okay, not having a job and not being able to make ends meet, have a roof over your head, not being sure where your next meal is going to come from, that's great tribulation right there. And these people, they not grounded in the Lord. You see, they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to comfort them in a time of trouble. So when the tribulation and anguish does come, they're going to resort to what they know best, which is carnality. Okay, they're going to resort to stealing, robbing, doing very wicked acts to sustain their life. All right, that's why it says that men shall be afraid, and that they're not going to have any pity upon their neighbor. It also goes into that friends shall fight against one another like enemies. So your best homie going back to the sandbox, he gonna turn on you, especially if he know that you got something on you. If he know that you got some food tucked away, or he know that you got something of value that can be of use to him, well, he gonna come for it. And that's also gonna add to the great death as well, because a lot of people, man, they gonna have to be putting their friends and their own family members, even their own children, to death, because that's the time it's gonna be. But those that are in the safe pavilion of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're gonna have comfort, we're gonna have protection from these things. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing it. Yeah, we're gonna be living in the midst of these things, but we're gonna be kept safe from the evil. You see, that's the importance of being in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because we're gonna have comfort through the Spirit to get through these times, no matter what we have to endure. Where was I at? Yeah, the collective emotional toll can reshape society's mental landscape. After all, a job isn't just about money. It's also a source of identity, purpose, and support. And yeah, people see their jobs as their lifeline. People see their jobs as really a small escape from reality. People got families, they got children, they got a wife. The situation at home might not always be the best, but getting away and going to work, getting away for a little while, that kind of resets you. Then you can get back to it. But when people don't have any work, there's no purpose. You just sitting around. And that's really how it was during the pandemic. People were just sitting around, wasn't doing nothing, couldn't do nothing, except eat and just, be in folly. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people during that time couldn't even live with themselves, because, they really had to sit down and stop everything and reflect on their life, you know. And a lot of people was bugged out from that, you know, the emotional toll. The initial loss of employment often brings with it a cascade of negative emotions. Anxiety, depression, and a loss of self-esteem can quickly follow the shock of being let go. These feelings are not isolated, they ripple through families and communities, affecting those surrounding the individual experiencing job loss. You know, so hey, you might lose your job, but now your wife or your children, you know, now they gotta worry because now it's like, damn, daddy ain't working, mom's stressed out, so it puts a strain on everybody. But again, if you have peace in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you don't have nothing to worry about because you understand that you losing that job, if you have Salaki, if you have a relationship with the Lord, that's really for your benefit. You know what I'm saying? It may not seem like it at the moment, but the Most High got something greater in store for us anyway, man. Because look, we ain't really stressing about no job here, man. Like, at the end of the day, we understand everything here is gonna get shut down. You see, pretty soon nobody's gonna have a job, and that was prophesied in Isaiah 19:15, and it says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it." So yeah, we understand what the scriptures say, that there's going to come a time it's not going to be no work. Everything is going to stop. All grinding is going to cease, man. You see, and matter of fact, let me see if I can find that too. See if I can pull that up. Bear with me one moment. Cause yeah, people think that this world is gonna go on forever, man. But nah, the Lord about to stop all this. The Lord about to put an end to Babylon the Great. Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Now the grinders are who? Those that work, whether it be farmers, okay, because the farmers, they're about to be out of a job because of the calamity that the Lord is going to bring upon the earth. The Lord is about to bring strong storms. He's about to bring tornadoes. He's about to bring tsunamis. He's about to bring hail. And the farmers, they're going to be mourning, which that's going to be a domino effect to what? People having less food. People having to pay more for food because the crops are going to fail. You see? Then because the crops are failing, it's not going to be as much food coming in. So many people, they're going to lose their jobs behind that, because it's not going to be a need for as many workers as there were before, because there's not as much work. You see, that's why it says the grinders cease because they are few. So the grinders that are left, they gonna be hanging on by a thread. You see, in these businesses, we're in a time that they're gonna have to cut as much cost as possible if they want to keep their business running. But really, it's all in vain, because these businesses are gonna fail anyway, because this is what the Lord has in store for Babylon the Great. It's time for this place to go down. Consider, for example, the stress put on a family when one of its members lose their job and cannot pay for rent, mortgage payments, or groceries. This can have a profound psychological effect on everyone involved. You see? So look, the Lord is jacking this place up everywhere you look. In every aspect, Babylon the Great is being smitten. This place is being smitten with madness because the people here, they've waxed proud. All right, and they have refused to acknowledge Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They've refused to acknowledge the creator of the heavens and the earth and his only begotten son. They become so proud to where who they call God is an afterthought, or they scoff at the idea of God or the Bible. They don't care because they could live a good life. They could travel. They could, quote unquote, manifest their dreams, right? They could drive the AMG Benz and BMW X6. You know what I'm saying? All of that, right? Why would you need the Lord when you can live so well? Well, guess what? The Lord is flipping the script. See, now the Lord is taking away all the comforts of life so that now you have no choice but to acknowledge the one that gave you all that. Because these people have received benefits and have not known the Lord and have turned their nose up at the Lord and scoffed and mocked the prophets. Okay, this is why pain is coming on the earth like it is, man. Because these people must be corrected for their wickedness and their proud spirit. You see? So this is why the grinding in Babylon the Great is going to cease. Okay, work is going to be no more very soon. This is the one I had mentioned earlier. Plane carrying migrants from Texas arrives in Chicago. So the Biden cabinet, he's busing them in, he's shipping them in, and he's flying them in. Now, how much money is all this costing? And then at that, it was another article I seen that all new migrants going to Chicago, now they get free healthcare. So that's putting a strain on resources, right? Then you have homeless veterans that are in America. They can't even get health care, but you bringing in people from over the border and you're setting them up like they've been here. Although this is their land, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole another conversation. But we're just talking about it on a surface level. On a surface level, these people are not American citizens, but you're giving them all the benefits that the American citizen is supposed to get. And this is going to lead to civil war because people are seeing this and they're not happy about it, man. You know, the patriots of America, those that went to war, those that lost limbs and, put their life on the line to defend America, they seen what's going on and they don't approve of this at all. They don't approve of what Biden is doing at all. And they about to rise up against the government. And of course, the elites, they already prepared for this, This is why they're going into the bunkers now, because they know that a great insurrection is coming to these lands. That there is going to be sedition among men, as it says in 2 Ezra 15 and 16. There are going to be uprisings of the people in the world, 2 Ezra 9. You see, Egyptian is going to be against Egyptian. This is what's coming, and it's all going to be induced from things such as this. It's going to be brought on by many other things, but this is just one cog in the wheel, if you will. So let's play this and we'll get back to it. All right, so you get the point, All these migrants being flown in and they're being given benefits. And these migrants, they came from Texas. And mind you, Biden is paying for all this. They ain't paying for nothing. So you see why there's about to be civil war. And these elites, man, they just so blatant with it now to where they don't give a damn because they pretty much poking the bear. They doing these things right in front of the American people and they daring you to do something about it or say something about it. But hey, that great insurrection is coming. Moving on. Biden's border crisis causing public health catastrophe. Let's get into some of this. As if one pandemic wasn't enough, Dr. Ashwin Vasan, health commissioner of New York City, is waving the white flag. Biden's non-existent border policies are producing the contagious diseases not seen for decades. A new disease in every bus of migrants. The 2,500,000 recorded migrant encounters at the U.S.-Mexico border in 23 represents a new all-time high. These individuals came come from 160 exotic countries, most with terrible healthcare standards. Now, illegal immigrants are driving a resurgence of rare disease, once extinct in the US. A prime example is polio. In 2022, a New York man was paralyzed by polio, likely originating from another country. The last previous confirmed polio case in New York was in 1990. Going back to Matthew 24, the Lord said what? There would be pestilence. You see, so, hey man, look, the Bible is a true book, you see, because all of what was written in the law and the prophets is coming to pass in these times. Because what, I always say second, Habakkuk 2 and 5, that's Habakkuk 2 and 3, Salaki, just bear with me, I'm kind of tired right now, it's been a long day. But yeah, so Habakkuk 2 and 3 says, for yet the vision is for an appointed time. So yeah, so this vision now is for an appointed time. Okay, so now these things are coming forth as the Lord said that they would. Nationwide public health crisis as we head to the polls. Tuberculosis. So these are all the diseases that they're saying are coming back with these migrants. Chickenpox, measles, malaria, leprosy. Damn. See? Okay, then they go into all the drugs. But look, man, this is all being brought on by the Lord. Okay, this is being done as a scourge for an amendment to correct these people's wickedness. But even though they see all these things are happening, they still not going to repent. They actually going to double down on their wickedness. You know what I'm saying? We can close out on this here. Health official warns. Health officials warn U.S. is unprepared for growing disease threat. If we don't do anything, it's going to get worse. Rising global temperatures have resulted in various consequences, among them more mosquitoes in North America. Those mosquitoes are bringing various diseases along with them, and experts are saying that the United States is unprepared for the threat. Okay. Yeah, so it's basically just more disease. We don't really got to get too deep into it because we already understand what this is going into. Oh, these ads, man. But yeah. Then they talking about white lung disease and all different kind of stuff that they're projecting to get very bad in 2024.
COVID and RSV, with rising cases fueled by holiday gatherings and peak travel season. According to the CDC, at least 30 states have reported high or very high levels of flu-like illnesses, with hospitalizations also on the rise.
A lot of people are getting sick out here.
It comes as vaccination numbers are hitting a troubling low. According to the CDC, just 18% of Americans have received the latest COVID booster, and fewer than half of American adults have gotten their flu shot.
And then you know what? It's only been 18% that have gotten the boost, because all the people that got the first go around, they going back to the spirit world. We already know what's going on with that, but I'm just saying, the population is thinning out. You see, people are dying in record numbers. So no wonder it's, and then again on top of that, people don't trust the government like that. People are not going to get these hokey pokeys, man, because they already saw what happened with the CV19. So now people are kind of leery to even deal with this, because years ago the number would have been much higher, 42% for the flu and 18% for the boost. So you see, we're in a time now, a lot of stuff is being exposed. The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is permeating through the earth, and these devils and what they doing, it's all being exposed. you know. And we already know this also goes into biological warfare, but this all goes back to the Lord. But He's using the wicked. He's going to use Esau, Edom, to bring these things forth, because Esau, as it is written, he is the sword of the Most High. You know, so Esau is the Most High's whipping stick. You know. So yeah, I think the point has been made. I'll go ahead and end the lesson here. Hopefully this lesson was edifying and informative through the Rakah Kadash. In closing, Kahala, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kadash. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect.